We had Fun 1v1 split versus Trash. Now we've got Cookie Cutters up for another match, sadly out of the tournament running, but still looking to do their best, play against strong teams. Fun now has to be on a high. I mean, we interviewed them. They took the first match off of Trash. They weren't super excited because of the situations that it happened on, but they're really looking to come on strong this last game. And against the demoralized Cookie Cutters, will they be able to put that into a clean sweep? Or might they still lose a game or two to Cookie Cutters looking to prove themselves despite the loss to Just Shoot 'em?
Yeah, I mean, I hope they aren't just in a sort of, well, we're not in, let's give up sort of mood. I hope they're still trying to play as best as they can because I'm excited about this match. I want to see them go up against Fun. In our last game of the last week of Season 2 of Prep Phase League before we move on to the tournament. So let's try and get right into things as I change the names now instead of way too late like last time.
All right, so as soon as we confirm that Fun is ready, we're going to get them drafting and hopefully have another solid game here. Again, Cookie Cutters versus Fun coming up. And don't forget to tune in, guys. Of course, all these matches you can rewatch in our off week next week. They'll all be on YouTube, on youtube.com/prepphase. But we will indeed have the final tournament on the 8th and 9th of next month. So you guys can definitely come check that out live or watch the replays of that. We have a big final tournament, cash prizes, all the best teams in a round-robin elimination, best of three. Or not round robin, excuse me, a ladder. Yes, a best of three, 2-day event. It's going to be definitely something to watch. So check that out, and you guys can see all the results up on the Prep Phase website, or just join us on our Prep Phase Discord. But looks like map is selected. We are going to go for Flyway Freighter for our first matchup, as Cookie Cutters is the home team.
So they're going classics. Going out Flyway Freighter. I'm really interested to see who Fun bans away this time. I mean, they said they were kind of preparing for this match.
If Fun sounded like they had some secret tech. We'll see if anything specific here. They're going to ban away that Celeste. I mean, make sure that obviously the buffs aren't taken. That leaves Cookie Cutters up for the next one. Gray banned out as well, so two very strong firepowers. We might see some interesting firepower choices on this one as well. Could we see another Zuki making great use of shooting around covers on a very long-range cover-heavy matchup? Might we see something else? We do see Lockwood picked out first from Freelancer United Nation. Fun, I mean, if Lockwood's available, we saw him used to great effect last match by Just Shoot 'em. Fun looking to make a duplicate performance here.
Yeah, and we're seeing, I guess the strategy seems to be a lot today is just get rid of these firepowers as quick as possible with these high-tier firepowers being banned and really picked away. Looking at Cookie Cutters getting their 2 picks. I mean, the Lockwood's gone, the Celeste and Gray are gone. Who do you want to secure one of these top firepowers, but who's really left? I mean, Flyway.
Nick's on Flyway.
Nyx or Gremo. I got to expect one of those two coming out for a pick right here.
You've got to expect a Nyx and Gremo. Besides that, you could see this Zuki coming out. You could see, I mean, I really don't expect Oz. Some people like Blackburn on this. You could also see maybe a Pup if you really wanted to shake things up. Especially, he's got such wide spaces to roam around in, dash in, can really get out. He's not in those confined spaces and can cause quite a problem for the firepowers if he's able to get in your back line.
Yeah, and definitely, like we said, they're going to go for both the picks. They realize that if they don't take one or the other, that Freelancer United Nation probably will. So Oz, or Grem, and Nyx go on the way of Cookie Cutters, securing themselves some very powerful firepower picks, and especially for Flyway, where both their advantages really come to shine.
So now that the firepowers are basically picked out for Cookie Cutters, Freelancer United Nations decides to steal away support. That'll let Cookie Cutters take their front line first, and then Fun can pick either their front line or the next firepower. You'd assume Zuki or Blackburn, but again, could come out with something new. Interesting to see with this composition what Cookie Cutters ends up going with relatively safe firepowers, you can go with that single target quirk to heal up your frontliner and just swap when needed, and that is indeed what they're going with. They go with the safe firepowers so they can go with that strong single target quirk healing. Just worry about the quirk and the frontliner. Let the firepowers take care of themselves.
Yeah, I'm interested in these frontliners coming out. None of them have banned, none of them have been picked. Everybody's got free reign on that frontliner right now. I'm wondering what Fun's going to prioritize and leave open for cookie cutters. As we look in their last picks, I mean, who do they pick up for their firepower now? I mean, Zuki, we saw her perform really well. And Oz?
I mean, if they wanted to, they could do Oz. They're saving it for last.
Legion,
Tauntas.
of course. What was I thinking? Legion of gonna want that Titus. Definitely where they're most comfortable.
Especially since Cookie Cutters left it, that was kind of a surprise. Cookie Cutters knew Fun's probably not going to go double support and pick up Quark as well, so he could have picked up that frontliner. But if they know the other team's going Titus and they don't want Titus, no reason to.
Who wouldn't want Titus?
There's plenty of people that love Asana and Rask, especially with both available. Nothing banned or picked yet. Fun does get their final pick, and they're deciding on this firepower. I agree it's quite the tough choice. That's why it's taken them a while. I lean slightly in favor of Zuki over Blackburn in this one, but you could definitely see Blackburn or maybe something unconventional as well. Again, that Oz and that Pup would not be completely unreasonable choices. There's the Pup.
There's the Pup. I mean, Pup's going to try and hunt down that Nyx, but he's got to be careful. I mean, Gremo can easily reveal Pup by accident with some mines or a Splort that they go walk over. And we're going to finish off with a Rampart. So
Rampart's very interesting, but the other team is a lot of directly targeted abilities. You can block the dagger in the prep phase, which is something almost no one else can do. You can go ahead and block just Lockwood's light. I mean, so many things from this other team. You can prevent a lot of the damage, and you can pull Pup off of his target. But I love the Pup pickup because you saw with the Quark exactly what they were doing. They were picking safe fire powers and going to be up in your face. The Pup allows them to sneak around the back and once again apply pressure to those fire powers, so now they're going to try and split Quark's attention. I really like that pickup here for Fun, and I hope it works out well for him. We'll see exactly how it flies out as they're pretty much ready to start.
I mean, with just looking at Cookie Cutter's lineup, I got to think they're going to be playing a bit safer. I mean, if they can just have Rampart act as a wall in the way, then Nyx and Gremo can just sit in the back and pump out damage while Oz keeps everyone healthy.
Especially for the first few turns, you got to assume that the Lockwood trap might catch a Rampart, but as you said, if they play a little safer, they can sit back, throw out a Nyx trap, throw out some Gremo mines, try and see exactly where Pup comes in. And you might even take reveal mines on this one, but just try and turtle up, catch Pup coming in so you don't get caught out unawares by a sneaky bit of damage coming in from Lockwood around a corner, Pup, a Titus dash. You're at least responding with these traps. That means they're probably going Cookie Cutter's probably going to head towards the tunnel side unless they want to fake out Fun. Just easier to block people in with traps there and to predict the lanes of approach that the very widespread Fun team can come in from multiple angles unless you really funnel them.
And here we go, alone to that match. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Titus wants to dive in. If who's playing the Rampart? If Remni, Remni on Rampart can get that shield predict on Kochi.
Remni, what?
Even if Titus Dash gets to his destination where he wanted to go, but it's blocked by Remni's shield, it's still going to force that longer cooldown, which can really mess with the Titus when it's a 5-turn cooldown instead of a 2-turn cooldown.
Absolutely. Yeah, these shields are going to come in, but the shields are the hardest part of Rampart. People don't realize there's such nuance to the exact angle you put them on. Excuse me, to the exact turn you use it on. You have to be blocking multiple abilities. You have to be protecting the low people from your team and be positioned so well, not just by yourself, but to make your team group up and to be able to avoid that big damage. I think these shields will really be a big factor in making or breaking this game.
Yeah, as we get loaded, just a quick reports coming in from the earlier today. We saw 2 OP wins versus Nerds, which was a newer team. And 2 OP also swept SPQR and Play for Fun swept SPQR.
Yep. We are getting reports the new team was pretty solid as well. Definitely matches to go and watch, especially to prep for next year, so you're not caught unaware by that Nerds team.
Nerds.
Bringing you back to Animal House, or what is it? Yeah, it looks like we do have the cookie cutters in blue. We're going to have fun in red. Both teams you've seen before today. Now you're getting ready to see them match up directly.
Wow, okay, I was wrong. Remedy playing very aggressively, just doing that real hard sprint up the middle. What we see Fun doing a scout. It's always good to. It always seems to be the invisible guy that goes to scout. So Legion off to the side, gonna be trying to find a backline character to really punish. Well, despite Remedy advancing that far, they don't actually have vision on anybody. So it's just gonna be the scouting turn still, as teams prepare for the first encounter.
All right, so they did have a loading issue, which is why Remedy was so far forward, but they elect not to take the remake. They are going to stay with this matchup. Remedy will shield early on. Dizzy's going to try and bounce around it. Nobody's going to take the bait for the direct damage, it looks like. And Nefty just taking the healing up on their own team for the energy. And these teams are going to get closer to the engage.
Yeah, and I didn't see if a clash notification happened there, but Legion has to know Guinness is there because that's where he was trying to get to. So
I didn't see a clash either. I think he might not know.
I mean, Guinness doesn't know, but Legion was definitely trying to move to that spot, so he knows exactly where somebody is. He doesn't know who, but he must have a pretty good idea. We're over on the side. Cookie Cutters can't see anybody, but Fun can see a lot of them because of that invisible Titus.
Guinness actually going invisible this turn. Unless Pup has a reveal out, I would have loved to see, because this is most likely Guinness here. So keep him out of position and not stealth. They're going to bounce some damage in on Remedy. Nefty's going to throw on that Iron Cloud since Remedy's shield is down as well. That still does damage. Remedy trying to find the direct hit on Kochi. Kochi going way in the back. The bite from Legion will deal damage to Guinness, but will not be revealed. They do know Guinness ran through the center and picked up the might. Don't know where they went after that, so they will lose track of Guinness because that was just a bite.
Yeah, I'm very glad he didn't stop on it. Stopping on a buff when you're invisible just gives you away anyway. Kept moving, keeps them guessing. Meanwhile, we see Remedy advancing into that love tunnel, but not quite close enough to have an impact. Couldn't get any pull, likely not any pull angles. Well, Kochi has found himself a backline, and even though Lava Cookie's there to support, Moss could take a lot of damage this turn.
Alright, looks like Nefty going to weaken the enemy team, make themselves unstoppable. Pull this turn, it looks like. Mott's will mine up to prevent some Titus chase, or at least cause some damage if that happens. Dizzy trying to spray will only find Mott's, but they're going to trigger a lot of damage combined with Kochi. Unfortunately, Guinness from undetected will return a lot of damage on Dizzy themselves. Legion trying to guess Guinness's location. Just one square off, has to feel bad. Mott's knocking Legion way back. Poor Pup's cry as he is completely out of the fight this time.
Wait, Legion's not even on Titus? What's happening this match? Oh my god. Anyway, we do see Kochi on the Titus, deep in the enemy team, getting ready to just punish that Grandma as much as he can now that they found him. I really like what Guinness did there. You know, moving just out of where they expected, able to pour more damage into the enemy. And Legion has got to find a pick soon. He got that nice initial bite on Pup, but now it's just been kind of guessing and trying to find the target.
Yeah, really, after not being able to walk each that first turn, has just been trying to chase this Guinness without much results. We'll see if they catch him this turn. The weaken from Kochi coming down on Remedy and Mott's. Lava Cookie will be able to heal them back up, but they won't be doing major damage. Mott's dashing out to preserve that health as well. Will be high pretty quickly. Dizzy will miss because of that dash. Nefty not able to find Guinness, although coming really close as Kochi tries to hit both. Only going to hit Remedy. Remedy will return the favor with a full spin. They finally figure out where Guinness is as Guinness takes a shot on Dizzy, bringing them super low, but Legion is the one who does find Guinness, pulls him out of position, and he's going to go through this trap.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, AutoCam. AutoCam didn't show up, but Guinness did take the trap. Now sitting at only 28 health, revealed. So a Catalyst here would still put them in a rough spot if Pup just puts him on auto-follow, which is likely what Pup wants to do to this poor old Nyx. Now, this is a situation I've been in many times before, and it's not a fun one to be. Meanwhile, Remedy is just kind of throwing themselves in the back at Kochi as the two frontliners clash, while the weakened characters get some support. Mott's attached to Lava Cookie, just going to heal right back up for the time being.
And Nefty's going to throw some healing in, try and push Remedy back. That'll happen if Remedy doesn't shield. Instead, Remny's going to go unstoppable. That'll mean that this heal that they were expecting to come in will not push Remny out of the way. They will still get the full move. Dizzy did not dash out. Guinness just stays and does the damage. Will most certainly die in response. Kochi and Remny again trading sword blows. They're sword fighting in the middle of the map. Mats expects Kochi to retreat. Dizzy and Legion will finish off Guinness with style and a little extra damage, getting the first kill of the match.
Yeah, and Kochi disengaging from Remny there, decides he just wants to beat up the backline, but you can't beat up the target Cork's attached to you. You gotta beat up Cork himself. So Mott's gonna be taking damage here, but Titus damage isn't really enough to outdo Cork healing. Well, we see Dizzy, they did get that kill, but he is really low. He did pick up the health buff, but now likely forced to dash if he wants to keep alive. Well, Anepti staying really far from the fight so far and just trying to support without putting themselves in any danger whatsoever.
Lava Cookie going to start healing Remny. Dizzy dashing out of the way of this one will be able to survive this turn as Remny will go with a complete miss on that one. Looks like Anepti throwing that healing field out on Dizzy and going to damage anybody who chases too far. Mott's putting mines in front and behind of the path that Dizzy was taking. Koji will take the swing on Lava Cookie. Lava Cookie not taking much of damage at all there. Legion still far out of the battle.
It still seems like the right thing to do to focus the Quark, not his tether. As you gotta punish the healer, and now Dizzy in a good spot though. He has a nice spray and pray if he wants to on mostly non-covered targets. We see Nick's getting ready to respawn. Anepti still hasn't taken any damage yet, just trying to keep themselves alive and their team healthy, and they've been doing a good job of it so far.
Yeah, unfortunately, Remny one spot over would be able to block most of the spray and pray, but as it is, won't block any damage. Legion gonna stealth and try and engage from stealth next turn. Anepsi's gonna make everybody unstoppable and weaken some of the damage coming in from Remny, but it is Kochi finds a double hit on Lava and Mats. Dizzy will find the triple hit with the light him up. That's gonna do significant damage for the team.
Teach 'em how to fly.
The Big Bang!
A knockback coming out from Mats as it comes out from Remny. They're really unstoppable from Anepsi. Such good timing. Negates most of that. They just take some damage.
Yeah, and we see Mott's definitely getting a crest on now as Remny and Guinness have flown themselves into this backline, but they found themselves two targets with ultimates available as it hits turn 9. Ultimates are coming up. Lava Cookie and Mott's both have theirs, and it's just essentially two 2-on-2s, and it's hard to tell who's in favor at the moment. We'll see how this likely ultimate heavy turn pans out.
It's the mind games, right? Who's going to use their ultimate? When should I dodge? Lava Cookie uses that healing and that might, means that Mott's might go ahead and use their ultimate this turn since they do have might. Dizzy will dash through that trap, taking significant damage, but doing a bit as well. Kochi elects to ult. They're going to slow down Lava Cookie and do damage to Mott's, bringing Mott's extremely low. Just regular mines coming out from Mott's, but Mott's taken super low with no escape but their catalyst.
Yeah, Guinness does a good job there. Punishes Dizzy for the ultimate, puts him down at just 37 health as he sits in the middle. Anepti sits on theirs to return it. Now we have Mott's and Legion held theirs as well, and it's still just with right now in this mess. It looks slightly in favor of Fun, but it's hard to really tell.
I mean, it all comes down to the outplays this turn and the next when these last of the ultimates are going to come out. Will Mott's die before using his ultimate? Or will Mott's go ahead and use it now that they are weakened and slowed and revealed? Traps coming out in front of Guinness to prevent any escape. Mott's is going to dash away. Lava Cookie trying to dash to them. Will not find the tether. Guinness finds double ultimate on Kochi and Anepti, predicting Dizzy would use their catalyst to get out of the fight. Anepti heals two of their teammates as well as dealing damage to Remny through that shield. The shield will slow Anepti, but with haste, they'll get full movement.
So I'm just going to take a quick moment. In Trash versus Love Bites, Trash Draft is El Zuki Rampart Orion. Just going to throw that out there. And moving
that
back,
will be a good one to go back and watch.
Yeah, I'm definitely
later.
going to check that out later. Meanwhile, Legion in a great spot to ult here. Mott's, just Catalyst, does have their dash available. As the longer you hold an ult on a character like Remo, though, I mean, you want more than one per round, but if he uses it now, he's definitely dead.
I swear I'm up to no good.
Kochi is going to throw out that turtle tick, try and live out the turn naturally in the middle of everybody. Remni as well, shielding up. Mott's will bounce through, trying to avoid damage as Lava Cookie gets out. Guinness taking the direct shot, finds both Anepsi and Kochi. Legion whiffs the ult completely thanks to the dashing out of the enemy team. Remni finding the damage on Kochi. A little bit of healing coming back up from Anepsi, as well as some damage. Nice triple hit. Dizzy bouncing the shot in with might, but Remni survives on just 4 health with ultimate available.
Yeah, and they definitely had that follow, so Mott's out of options escape-wise. Almost certainly going down. Hopefully he does a Hail Mary, or might as well. We see Remni sitting on his. He could have a clutch moment here if he uses it correctly. Well, Guinness is sneaking up on Dizzy, trying to finish off this firepower before they realize what's happening.
Can Remni ult directly next to Mott's and save him? I don't know with this angle here. Looks like Lava Cookie's going to try their best to heal up Mott's combined with a shield. Legion will dash to them. Kochi dashes away to Lava Cookie.
That's the punch I need.
Their dash will do nothing except for get them out of trouble, and it looks like no one was shooting at them. And FD tried to predict the dash, misses with that ion field. Mott's will throw down some significant damage from the mines, as well as an ultimate that covers 3 members of the enemy team, taking down Lockwood, bringing an FC low, dealing damage to Kochi, and putting out a ton of mines for the enemy team to move through. But they didn't move themselves, so it won't drag anybody through.
Kochi and Legion both dashed that turn to likely avoid the Remni damage, but still a great ult for Mott's, and he's still alive for the time being, tethered to a Quark who can radiate. Remni, though, most likely going down in return, and Guinness successfully disengaged, but they got to find a target soon. I mean, if they're going to trade Remni, hopefully they can trade another, keep it even for the time being, as it is 1-1 at turn 13.
These teams don't want to go down at all past turn 15 because it's so hard to find those final kills. And FC going to throw some healing down on Kochi, trying to make them live. Same thing, Quark is just radiating Mott's for the maximum chance to live. Legion, though, with that bite, makes it unlikely. Mott's will find a hit on Kochi and try and mine out, but Kochi finds the hit on Mott's. It's not direct. It will finish off Remni, but it will not finish off our Gremolitions here. Remni will find the pull on Anepsi. That's going to pull him through the trap. Major damage. Bringing it right back to 2-2. These teams will not give up the lead.
A classic brain juice and die. And now we have Kochi didn't chase or anything there. They must have... Did they assume they had Mott's dead to rights? I don't know. But now, with Titus, everything on 1 turn cooldown. Not even close to being able to affect him this turn. Same thing with Pup with that wall in between them. So now Mott's gets a couple more turns of healing from Lava Cookie. I am amazed he is still alive. Guinness completely on the other side of the map. Did have a great trap there, but needs to rush back in.
Yeah, we'll see if he's got that extra range and might even be able to hit Kochi. We'll find out. Lava Cookie healing up Mott's. Kochi starting off with some healing, but Mott's is about to put him back against the wall. Keep Kochi away and not able to hit that Mott's. Legion might have a shot, but Dizzy definitely does.
That's awkward. Dizzy sitting there ready to shoot him. Mott's still has 4 turns on that Grandma Dash. Such a long cooldown. We have Kochi not going to be able to have an effect this turn, and unless he might be able to get a dash in, but he's staring down Guinness, who can start pouring damage on him in return, as we have the other 2 members of the team respawning right in the fray. Nobody's going to waste any time.
No, they want to make this a bloody battle. Dizzy's actually going to throw the trap on the other side of Lava Cookie, hoping they can finish off Mott's that turn. Kochi actually catalyst out of the way, figuring Guinness will focus them. Mott's trying to throw traps to prevent the chase. Kochi will not find the damage. Legion's going to find a pull instead of a dash, figuring Mott's might lay out some mines. Combined with Dizzy's light him up, that's going to finish off Gremolitions. Lava Cookie runs towards the enemy team instead of away. But look at Remni positioned to not be able to hit anybody.
Looks like he was rushing in to try and support Mott's that next turn, but he did go down, so now it's just awkwardly sitting there. We see Guinness picks up that might buff, and because of Kochi's felt forced to dash out there, he's not going to have an effect for at least 1 turn, maybe even into the next, depending on where people position themselves.
Right between the eyes.
Dizzy takes the direct shot on Lava Cookie. Legion will take the fight as well, electing not to dash out. Combined with Anepsi, that may have been a poor decision, as Lava Cookie takes so much, even though Guinness returns a little bit of AoE damage. Anepsi super low.
Lava Cookie wisely just full moving, doesn't even try and deal any damage that turn. Full moves over the heal, tries to get that disengage. Pup could easily still dash them, but he will be weakened from that Vortex round. Guinness now sitting on his ult again with a trap available, and Kochi trying to return himself into the fray. Well, Gremolitions responds too. I mean, nobody's taking advantage of this new spawn system, spawn safe. Everyone's spawning right in the middle of the map, or right in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, a lot of people love to spawn to take buffs. These teams want to spawn and get in to deal damage. Remy's going to try and prevent Dizzy from doing anything significant this turn. Guinness is going to predict the dash and try and put the trap out. Kochi's just going to say, I think Lava Cookie's dashy. Let's go ahead and put the dagger on him so he dies next turn. His Dizzy dashes out of the damage from Remy and will pick up an energy increasing buff next turn. Lava Cookie does tether to Legion. Legion pops the trap, but is now next to Lava Cookie. Lava Cookie with no escapes and a dagger on them. This is a dead Quark.
Yeah, that was very wise of Legion not to dash there, which might have secured the kill. They realized he's going to dash this turn. We'll just ignore it and get him next turn. Nepty's sitting on ult too, so that's a very much dead Quark. Remedy sadly doesn't have a shield available to potentially block this Titus ult, and Guinness, even though he's invisible, definitely in a spot where he could take some unintentional damage.
We'll find out. Kochi taunting his face me cowards. He's gonna see what he can do this turn as Lava Cookie attaches to Legion for maybe some last ditch damage. And Epsy's gonna find Kochi and Dizzy as well as Remny for some healing and damage coming out. Mott's just throwing some damage in the background, as does Dizzy. Guinness elects not to ult, just taking direct damage to Kochi. Kochi does ult with a 3-person catch. That's going to trigger the death for Lava. As does Legion, but put significant damage on Rodney and Guinness' turn as well.
And making it 2-4 in Fun's favor. Moving the turn 19. Rodney nowhere near ult, likely to take this, guaranteed to take damage from Pup's ult if he so chooses. Dizzy as well. They might be able to just burn him down even this turn and just get the win right now with the 2 firepower ults available to them.
I mean, they have Remny dead if they want. They absolutely can just kill Remny. The question is, do they try and do something fancier here to get more people to live because they can't afford to take 3 deaths? They're actually going to fully dash over to Guinness instead of killing Remny. Might be a little bit of a misplay if they don't get the kill this turn. Legion will go ahead and ult Remny. That won't get the kill. Remny able to do the damage to Legion. Mott's just trying to contribute in the back with that little demolition damage over time, but won't save him. Guinness takes the shot on Kochi. Remny lives another turn, although still no escapes, still pretty much dead.
Guinness been holding out so long, I don't understand why he's not using it. Remny definitely dead. Guinness still has a catalyst, but I mean at this point, is it even worth not dying? Even though you
have to try for the kills. Remny's dead.
Yeah,
they're not going to ignore him another turn. Could have gotten guaranteed the kill last turn with either Titus or Dizzy. Decided not to. Dizzy's going to throw out a trap for Guinness. Legion dashing to Remny. That's all she wrote on Remny's side of things.
Chaos comes for you.
So now it's 3 kills needed. They're going to find a little bit of damage on Guinness. Sport, hope somebody runs over some more mines.
Prepare to be impressed.
Lots of taunts coming out. Dizzy trying to predict a dash, but Anepsi just goes in and finishes.
Oh.
Guinness finds a lot of damage. And we'll pick up some extra. Dizzy actually pushed away, but it is indeed... Well. The trap picks up the extra damage. They get the kill, but too little too late.
Yeah, a very even match in the beginning, but just slowly started to turn into Fun's control as the catalysts were used on all these characters. I mean, half the team of Cookie Cutters didn't have escapes, and when it comes to Gremolitions, his is such a long cooldown that getting his catalyst might as well doom him as well. So once they got those out of the way, they just were able to burn them down once they just couldn't avoid all the firepower damage coming out. Actually, Kochi on Titus taking the most with 492, or dealing the most with 492. That's my boy.
Yeah, Cookie Cutters was actually able to put out a significant amount of damage, but it was spread. They weren't able to find the kills, and FC was able to heal them back up with a big 430 damage number, even bigger than Quark, who traditionally leads the healing charts, and just able to put out consistent damage from everybody on their team. Legion, Dizzy, Kochi, all in the low to high 400s.
Yeah.
Even their support in the 220, they were able to put out consistent damage on the right targets, find the kills, and honestly, they should have won last turn. They had it calculated. They gave the team another chance to try and tie it up when they really didn't need to. That, in the future, that may come back to haunt them.
I mean, at this point, it might have just been for style points, but hopefully in further, if they're in the championship tournament, it won't be the case. And you mentioned it. Look at how crazy high the damage numbers were on the firepowers of Cookie Cutters, but only 3 deaths. So I'm gonna have to hand my MVP vote to Inepti with his whopping 656 contribution between his not so shabby damage and a big ol' hunk of healing.
Yeah, I mean, a huge contribution for their team. I like the hounding from Pup. I think there were some better plays to be made.
Really?
But I think there were some better plays that might have been made earlier that made the game even shorter. I did not see any significant good shields coming out of Remedy on Rampart. I think that they need to have better Rampart coordination on your team. You need to play differently with a Rampart on your team. And I think ultimately that is one of the factors that led to them not being able to win this game, is not to be able to make effective use of their front liner and just taking too much damage.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they can change it up game 2 and get a split out of this as we're going to go into our last match of the day and last match of week 6 of Cookie Cutters versus Fun.
Yeah, so right now we're catching up. We had Fun and Trash game 1. They split. Actually, Trash had a DC 1 game. Fun performed really well, was able to beat Trash. They came back, and Fun still did a great job, but Trash was able to win with their favorite characters, with the full team. JSE able to sweep Cookie Cutters in round 2, and then round 3, we're seeing Fun perform really well versus Cookie Cutters as well. We'll see if Cookie Cutters can manage to salvage at least one game today in this final matchup.
So I'm forgiving you for that hound pun, just letting you know.
I'm okay with it.
You'll accept that?
I'll accept it.
Right,
it was worth it.
So we're going to move into game 2. A very strong showing. I agree with what you said. I mean, they had the Rampart, but they didn't really seem to take any advantages with the Rampart. He wasn't quite where he needed to be to shield. I mean, the big turn it could have worked was his ult, but they just dashed around it anyway. So we've seen Rampart have some big moments in the Prep Phase League, but that just wasn't a particularly impressive showing.
Yeah, it's... I absolutely agree there. We'll see if they're probably going to pull out something different. You very much don't think that they're going to pull out the same. So we're going to get them drafting. We're going to get this final game of the day done. Don't forget, Prep Phase League is not over this season. Well, the league part of it is. We have the Prep Phase League final tournament coming up on the 8th and the 9th, where we'll see the top 6 teams, which are looking pretty set right now. We'll make a formal announcement later. They're going to be playing in a final tournament with some prize money and a lot of prestige on the line. This will be the final season before the game really goes live. It goes live on the 4th, so the tournament will be when the game goes live, but looking for a strong end to Season 2.
And I believe it's already been decided that Juno, the recently announced Lancer, will not be playable in the tournament.
Yep, and again, if there's any questions, you guys can make sure to check us out. We'll have a week break. We'll make all sorts of announcements. They'll be on our Discord, on our website. We'll make sure everybody has the full information. So don't forget to check those locations periodically before the tournament. We do have Cloudspire coming out for what looks to be a bloody final match.
Well, this is fun, right? They did say they enjoy Cloudspire.
Yeah, Fun thinks Cloudspire is their map. And now that they get to pick it, they're going to show us a tour de force of what they think will be an absolute strong showing. So if they're looking to make this a sweep, that's what they want to do. They certainly showed us that they had studied Cookie Cutters and knew exactly what to do against them game 1. Let's see if they can continue game 2 if Cookie Cutters can make some adjustments that Fun might not be prepared for.
Yeah, and we're looking coming out. Trash won their match. Sadly, it wasn't recorded coming in. What a shame. But we're going to look into this. A pretty similar start with the picks and bans. I mean, just these fire powers are just getting taken off the table so quickly. And Fun, they All right. Everyone knows how much I like Titus, but first picking him is an interesting choice. We're going to go with Titus Nix.
I mean, especially when firepowers are banned, it's not like you banned Asana, pick Titus, force them into a Rask, Rampart, or Garrison. Yeah, it's an interesting first pick, but Cookie Cutters main fun wants it, so they want to make sure they get it first. They have Nyx as well for that long-range support. If Titus decides to dash across the map, then Nyx can still support him from any distance away, can shoot pretty much clear across Cloudspire.
Oh, yeah.
Cookie Cutter's going to go a little bit more traditional on all maps, where they've got this Lockwood that is just solid all around, and we saw do amazing things earlier today on Cloudspire. And then the Asana able to bounce around, shield up, do amazing damage. Fun going for their support next. They're going to leave their last firepower pick to last. They're going to pick up immediately that Aurora.
I mean, after last game, I don't blame them. Cookie Cutter's going to take away that pup. I guess they want their turn of sneaking up on people. If they can find this Nyx, like what was done to them last game, they might be able to find some victory. And then I guess they're going to go say, whatever, let's throw out the Orion.
I mean, it has been working for certain teams, and if there was a firepower that you wanted Orion paired with, Pup might be the choice. He takes a lot of damage, but heals himself, makes great use of he's going to take that damage and fill you up with the shielding that Orion gives, and is most likely to be able to actually hit somebody with the explosive core that he does put on Pup, because Pup is so close to the enemy team. L being picked up as the last one from Fun. Now, if you're going to pick L, Cloudspire is the map to do it on. With the close quarters, if she can get double hits every turn, it doesn't roll too often, only rolls when needed, plays like a normal Freelancer the rest of the time, she can put out some amazing damage numbers, especially when she ignores all this myriad of cover on this map with her ultimate,
if they
assuming
so
most people take that.
I mean, I think the L might be they see the Orion, and with L constantly dealing big AoE, if they can catch Orion's Fate Transfer target, which if you don't know, he Fate Transfers them and absorbs 75% of the damage that person took will be given to Orion instead, so it can really negate a lot of stuff. But if he's caught in AoE, he's essentially taking the ability twice. So with all the big AoEs L brings to the table, they could really punish that Orion play.
All right, so we'll look to see how this turns out. The Orion and Pup on Cookie Cutter side, some unusual picks, but Fun saving their L pick for last, maybe showing us how to play L in an extreme. I mean, the conditions are set. They've got this rear-lined firepower in Nyx that's able to support a very aggressive Titus when they dash. They've got that midline L that they're going to be able to support very well with the Aurora, just slightly behind her, helping out her and Nyx. As long as they can keep Pup off of their support and off of L, because L has a real tough time rolling out of some of Pup's bites, then they look to have a pretty strong matchup. But there's still significant damage coming out of Lockwood and Asana. You can't discount them.
4, 3.
You can't see it, but Dizzy just put in the lobby chat. He's been training all his life for this L moment. He's ready to make L shine. Let's see what he's got as they seem to cop. I honestly don't remember who had this layout first, but they're copying each other with the banners and icons.
Oh, that's a big taunt right there. They are going to copy the other team's style, even say, we're going to beat you at your own game all the way through. We'll see exactly how this turns out for them as we load into the final match of the day. Fun looking to pick up their second win versus Cookie Cutters. Cookie Cutters looking to pick up their first win of the day, salvage something out of this day that they were hoping to sweep completely if they wanted to keep their tournament dreams alive.
I guess now it's all in. It's their last chance to show everyone what they've got in Season 2, and hopefully they take it seriously and aren't just going to go and mess around.
I mean, pride is on the line, and everybody see a good match and play a good match. I do believe that everybody is loaded in correctly this time. We have Anepsi, Legion, Kochi, and Dizzy on the left side. That's going to be our fun team. On the right side with red, we're going to have the Cookie Cutters.
Are you saying cookie cutters aren't fun?
They're going to be the Freelancer United Nation team, which is quite the mouthful to say
Yeah.
repeatedly.
So now you have Kochi sticking off, doing that Nick Scout thing. Well, only Lava Cookie runs out to the middle. The members of Fun opting to not go for that might, knowing it would lead to some punishment, as Guinness is going to try and scout of his own and likely just run right into that backline, try and find a nice, juicy target to start chomping away at.
We'll see if they find exactly what they want. Nix is going to go, but it looks like so is L. Even Guinness trying to get in the back line. Both teams struggling for the vision advantage here. We'll see who ends up with it. Lava Cookie is not dashed upon, and Remni tries to hit the enemy team, but since they didn't go for the buff, won't find anything. A little bit of energy gain from Nepsi. Guinness does find them, but Dizzy is overcharged with 2 people in their sight and possibly could roll from... that might be a little far from Mott's.
Guinness has an inaccurate last note on Dizzy and has no idea, not even a last note at all on Aurora, on Inepti, right next to him.
Goodness, you're right.
So he might not even see it, but yeah, Dizzy does have an opportunity for some nice spread damage if they choose to use it. They might also might not know Remni's there.
Dizzy setting up this drone to do damage if they keep people in the middle. Lava Cookie's going to dash out of the middle, bouncing off Legion for some mighted damage. The direct shot from Kochi is going to miss, and not even... Remni does some damage that ignores cover to Legion. Guinness pulls, did not know Dizzy had haste, so tries to pull into the cover, and that will waste the pull for that turn. No walkies happening. Dizzy and Mott's trading positions on the spawn side.
Doing a little quick clash right there. Nobody quite seeing each other. That's got to feel bad for Guinness knowing now how close Inepti was, but their last note is quite accurate at the moment. They could turn on them at this point. Kochi doing a really good job of staying out of the fight, but they only need to find one of these no built-in dash backliners to really lay on the hurt.
Lava Cookie out in the open, suspects damage and will throw Retribution, but Legion has weakened that, so that Retribution damage will be a lot lower. Legion, expecting the trap, is going to dash out over to Remni. Remni's AoE not big enough to find Legion, but Kochi's shot certainly does, as does Dizzy. Major focus on Remni this turn, and Epsi will find a double shot, take a little Retribution damage, but deal significant damage to the other team. They are rooted, but that just might leave the other team trapped in this square. No, they all move around to focus on the support. And FC in big trouble, but Remni in even bigger trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Remni already sitting out of almost completely doomed if they don't decide to catalyst. They do have their Fate Transfer Bill, which will give themselves a little bit of shielding in return. And Nepti definitely going to be a big target. Guinness able to secure that health buff, so nothing there for Nepti to even worry about, as it's supposed both teams racing to kill each other's supports.
We'll see who is successful first. Remni looks like they're going to stay in place and actually Fate Transfer Lava Cookie, not for the actual transfer, but for the free shields that it gives Remni. They're going to hope that Lava Cookie doesn't take damage. Dizzy is going to dash in, dealing some damage and taking some themselves. That has completely cleared the shields. Mott will get a light 'em up on both Dizzy and Legion, although giving cover to Dizzy. Looks like they're going to slow Mott with the drone as Legion takes a swipe at Remni. That'll do actual damage. Guinness starts the focus on the Nepsi, taking out their shields. Lava Cookie continues up. Mott's chose not to attack them, and Nepsi runs through their own healing field, but Guinness follows, so we'll have sight on exactly.
Remni sitting on that nice turn 6 Orion All. That's what you expect with how much energy he gains, which is a pretty absurd amount. You can use it now for some healing, because if not, he might just die. Well, Kochi decided that this time he wants to be very safe, sitting way back there, as the race to kill the support continues on, but it looks like it's in Fun's favor at the moment, with Inepti not really sitting that much hurt for the time being.
Remni's going to turtle tech. That'll almost guarantee that they live, as the roll from L does a little bit of damage and grants them cover versus Remni's ultimate, which will heal 25, do significant damage to Legion and a little bit of cover to Dizzy, but the sword removing all that hard work immediately. Bounce shots and bite to bring Anepsi super low, and now Anepsi just elected to do a full run despite having the heal up. That's going to bring them to a much safer position, but the enemy team followed very effectively.
That was a smart play by Inepti. not wasting their time doing a little bit of chip damage to Pup, instead just trying to get as far away as possible. But unfortunately, Guinness and Lava Cookie both have their dashes available, while Remedy is just being chased down by Legion at the time being, as the teams start to regroup, with Inepti getting welcomed back into the fold as Remedy is still quite separated.
Inepti's going to go for that heal, as is Remedy. Both supports trying desperately to stay alive. Guinness will be knocked back after that dash, won't be able to chase. Lava Cookie trying just a little bit of cover damage, as Dizzy does not predict the dash, does not hit Pup on that one. Kochi and Legion still applying pressure to Remedy. These supports are running out of cooldowns. Lockwood only able to find Dizzy, but starting to get damage on a firepower as well, splitting out a little bit of the damage on their team.
This is like a slapstick comedy, both of them just trying to chase the supports around. Guinness does disengage, Inepti disengages because of that knockback, but now Guinness has their walkies available if they want to pull them back out into the open. Neither of them have blown their catalyst yet, being very, very patient. More patient than I would be, for sure, as Dizzy actually might be a good target for Cookie Cutters to start looking at, or for Cookie Cutters to look at, as he's just sort of sitting out in the open.
Remy's going to throw on a little bit of shielding and healing on themselves. Lava Cookie dashing around, Legion dashes, and Dizzy finds Guinness. Guinness will try and pull Inepsi to them, but Inepsi throws the Iron Cloud that does healing on Guinness, so not only will they and Kochi deal damage, but will also be healed if they are pulled through that cloud. Remedy is not dashed upon, so their attack will not do anything this turn. And Inepsi does get pulled through that healing field, although completely through, so will not heal this turn.
And gotta be looking so close to ultimate. So many people really close to ults. Look at these energy bars, but no one quite having it yet at turn 9. Likely the next couple turns will be the ultimate turns. So Inepti could choose to heal themselves or could choose to try and cast out. They don't think they're going to take that much damage. While Remedy is still being punished. And Dizzy is now out of dashes, sitting completely in the open like that. A nice target for them to focus at the moment.
Dizzy has a tough choice. Multiple people can hit them this Catalyst, Turtle Tech, or just take the damage and maybe die. Mots will find a double shot on Inepsi and Legion combined with Guinness. That's going to bring Inepsi really low. I don't think anybody else is going to find damage, as Kochi finds damage around the corner on Remedy, bringing them low. A triple hit from Dizzy definitely brings up that ultimate. The Root combined with Remedy will take off all those shields and then some. Legion finds a double hit, and all these ultimates are indeed coming up and available. This is going to be an exciting next turn.
Yeah, I mean, once again, I'm just really impressed by both of these supports' patience, and neither of them blowing that dash catalyst. They've used everything else, but not quite that one. Not quite the most important, arguably, as everybody except Remedy on the map here has ultimates available. This is going to be a crazy turn. It's hard to tell how it'll pan out as everyone's getting ready. Do you hold your ultimate now? Do you try and force some catalysts out? Do you try and pull a bluff? And just what's going to pan out as the teams are really mixed up, no clear battle lines going into turn 10.
Well, Lava Cookie is certainly going to use theirs to get out of the middle of the map and shield Mots a little bit. Mots is going to throw this trap out, although I believe it is indeed a free trap, so could still do other things. Multiple catalysts out. Inepsi, Dizzy, Remedy, they're all out of the battle. Guinness is going to use that ultimate, but it's barely going to scratch Legion. Mots will try and find a bound shot. And Legion angled correctly hits not only Mots, finds the kill on the support for the first kill of the game. They are going to take down Remedy on that Orion.
And Legion didn't actually take any damage using his Turtle Tech and taking just under that damage, so no lasting damage. He is scrambled, can't dash, can't dagger, as Mots is now sitting on ult. But so is Dizzy as well. I mean, there's a lot of calling each other's bluffs of just trying to play sort of Russian roulette as who's going to be the one to pull the trigger first.
Your attacks will betray you.
Lava Cookie shielding up. Mots dashes away. Dizzy will try and get some damage in, but will take that return retribution. Inepsi heals themselves, deals damage to Guinness, and make sure Kochi is topped off together with some cover damage. That'll bring Guinness just a little bit lower. Even the drone getting in on the action from L, that will bring Guinness down to within one hit of their life. Legion trying for the swing, will not catch Mots. Mots now has ultimate to be able to get away. Dizzy might be able to predict it, though.
Yeah, Mott's sitting on a nice ultimate now. Dizzy completely out of escapes. Definitely not dodging this. Might just die here. Likely to. We see Guinness just trying to chase down Inepti. The couldn't quite finish him now, and they're starting to heal up again, which is rather unfortunate for them, as you see Orion getting ready to rush back in and support his team.
Legion's going to weaken Mott and slow and reveal them with the dagger, thinking that they're going to dash, but trying to negate some of the damage that will mean minimal damage happens to Dizzy and Legion. Inepsi predicted the dash, throws down their healing field on themselves, and deals damage to Guinness. Unfortunately, doesn't get the kill. Mott did such a short dash that he actually avoided any prediction that might have happened.
Yeah, but now he's stuck in that same position. Has its catalyst available, but isn't in a particularly bad spot. This is a 2v1 against Legion. Uh-oh. And Dizzy just kind of running back across the map. Second wins and just says bye, once again showing that strength of how powerful a double move can be, as Remedy is rushing back in to try and support Guinness, who is so very low on health.
This core on Guinness going to do a lot of work pounding Guinness. And it looks like that was a fate transfer as well, although that may look to poor decision if Dizzy does decide to ult. Mott throws out the trap, and Lava Cookie, they're going to focus Legion with a bounce shot and finds the double bounce. The first hit hits on Remny, and Remny heals up for a significant amount. The ultimate from Koji goes straight through, killing Mott and doing significant damage to Pup as well.
Oh no.
But yours is so warm.
Here's the L-Town, will it hit both? It catches the corner of Guinness, pushing him away, but he's at 2 health! Remny pushed away as well, taking significant damage that turned over half of...
Yeah, welcome back, Remny. That was the turn after he respawned, already down to 63 health. Does have ult available, and somehow Guinness is still alive thanks to that fate transfer. But sitting at 3 health, he could catalyst if he so pleases, and Kochi definitely knows where he is. They can see each other because of they're both in the same fog. Well, Dizzy hopefully disengaged for the time being and wants to just start healing up again before they re-engage on this fight.
Guinness is going to use the pull on an FC, but an FC looks like they're making themselves unstoppable this turn and weakening Pup. Dizzy decides to dash, and that'll finish off Guinness. Guinness will attempt to pull. Legion did dash to Remny as well, but it looks like the extra damage from Remny will finish off the support on the other side. They find their first kill of the game over from the Cookie Cutters, but things aren't looking well as it's a 3-1 lead for Fun. Remny at extremely low health despite having both healing and ult available.
He couldn't get 25 health, which is more than... it's 25 health, which is 30 is more than Tice can deal in one turn on his own without a might buff, so he could survive for the time being, and he's mighted, so that's going to swing pretty big with Kochi not quite in position to hit Orion, but maybe trap him, maybe shoot Lava Cookie instead.
Well, Dizzy could possibly hit Orion if they really angled it correctly. We'll see coming forward this turn. Kochi is going to throw the trap, but Legion's just going to dash out of this, doesn't want to deal with it. Lava Cookie shields up and blasts Dizzy. If Dizzy shoots, this will be bad news as Lava Cookie is mighted. Dizzy misses Lava Cookie, will not kill themselves, and will hit Remny, bringing them down to only 18 health again. Out of escapes, but definitely could put some hurt on Remny.
Yeah, Dizzy pretty much dead to rights here, looking to do some damage on their way out the door. Kochi is invisible near a Lockwood and next to the spawn points for the enemy team, so he's got to be really careful with his movement here to not suddenly put himself in a bad spot. While Legion, not near his support, who isn't spawning for the next turn and can't really re-engage for the time being.
You know, one of those 2 red portals is indeed Aurora from his team.
Oh, so why are they both red?
Yeah, something they're working on there, but Kochi does hit Mott. Mott tries to spray, will not find any damage. Lava Cookie will take the swing and finish off L as Remny with the healing just escapes the other side of the map, but Legion was on full follow and is on the case.
He is sitting rather low, but a Nepti could be there to support if he needs it. Well, we see Kochi doing a really good job, just only taking 17 damage so far this entire match, but dealing 304, so he's doing a good job of being safe but still getting the numbers up there, as it'd likely be a convergence over on Legion and Remny here.
Key will be if Kochi can pull up the second ultimate sometime soon, then they're going to have a good time. Now, they put the shield on Lava Cookie, thinking Lava Cookie might not take damage. That might be true, but Remny still might survive. Guinness dives across the map with the core on Remedy. That might end up being a good amount of damage. Kochi will hit Mott's and Lava Cookie. Some of that will be pulled off to deal extra damage to Remedy. The bounce in from Lockwood finishes off Titus. And Epsi will heal Legion back up, but the core goes off. The core takes down Titus. Remedy lives on 5 health and gets out of the Ion Cloud, so will not die next turn.
Yeah, and Kochi's still out of line of sight. They do have an accurate last note on him. Motts might be able to get a bounce back there if he wants to work for it. Well, Aneptes, I think, is going to be racing Remedy here to this health because he knows, even though Aneptes at full health, he can't risk letting Remedy get his hands on it and survive a little bit longer, as Orion is completely and utterly out of ways to survive himself for the time being.
Yeah, he used everything to survive in just those turns. Motts tries to get the hit, will not find the distance. NFC just sees what they can do, can't find anything. Does get the little ping on Guinness. Remedy decides not even to go for the help. Will and Dizzy and Anepsi both roll in. This will be a dead Remedy. The question is, can Guinness's ult?
They have no idea he's there. Their last known is nowhere close, so this is going to be a big old surprise if he chooses to use it. Kochi having a little bit of a duel here with Motts as they try and have a Freelancer, a firepower one-on-one, which is currently in Kochi's favor because of just how little damage he's taken.
Lava Cookie throws up the shield, willing to do some retribution damage. Kochi's actually going to go ahead and use their trap instead of trying to figure out exactly what square Motts is in. Dizzy rolls over to finish off Remedy. But the taunt still finds Dizzy for some damage. Lava Cookie is going to root Dizzy as well. And still damage. Motts finds a direct shot on Kochi, but here's the surprise Guinness mighted ulti, bringing Dizzy extremely low. Anepsi will find some damage on Guinness as they go through to make sure the support is finished off. A 4-3 game, super close. Dizzy almost dead. Motts fighting for their life.
Dizzy almost said Anepti unfortunately sitting on ult and big heal, but scrambled. Can't give him the support he needs, as that might be their target to bring it into a 4v4. As Motts does trick Kochi's mind, and they continue their little 1v1 as they both work their way towards the main fight down here at the bottom of the map. As we move into turn 20, almost certainly going into overtime.
Lava Cookie will try and shield Guinness, dash out, deal some damage. Motts is going to put out the trap, see if they can't catch Elt walking through it. That'll be interesting to see. Lava Cookie dashes it, bringing Dizzy down to just 1 health. Kochi knew exactly how far Motts could move, so knew they had to be in one of those squares. Dizzy will return the damage, turning back. A complete whiff from Legion as Lava Cookie had dove over to the other side. Anepsi will fire through, giving off some healing, bringing Dizzy back up. The bounce shot only able to find Legion. The bite finding Anepsi, although they will have ultimate next turn. And Dizzy running the opposite direction of the trap. Dizzy lives. Dizzy lives on the last turn.
Yeah, throw out some thanks wills for that 1 health survival there before the heal. As they don't, I thought it was going to go overtime. I thought Guinness had the dash to hit Dizzy, but it didn't seem to be the case. As Fun takes a very narrow victory that time in a 4-3 win.
Tell Dizzy the golden rule of Atlas Reactor: do not move
yeah,
if you think you won turn 20.
Don't move turn 20,
close.
but whoa.
Of course, if they thought about it, if they knew where Motts was, they knew they couldn't throw it to the other side, so that side was safe to run on. But so close.
Well, Dizzy did say this was the L moment he'd been training his whole life for, and he put on quite a good show with 553, easily taking top damage in the game with only 1 death, doing a really good job of kiting people around for a long time.
All right, so we're going to get another member of Fun in here.
Ugh. Wrong scene. It's all good, though. So we're going to get someone from Fun who just had their 2-0 sweep against Cookie Cutters. First match seemed pretty decisive. Second match, very, very narrow. Oddly enough, on the map that Fun considers to be their home turf.
All right, Anepsi, how you doing? That is correct, right, Anepsi?
Yeah.
All right.
Correct. Good job.
You make it difficult for us, but we have to learn it after such impressive performances. Good job today. You guys managed another clean sweep, this time against Cookie Cutters. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was hard.
Yeah, game 1 seemed pretty in your favor, but game 2 was quite a nail-biter.
Yeah. Top is good on that map. it's better than I thought it would be.
So, question for you: did you guys know exactly where Mott's could put that trap, or was that just luck that Dizzy happened to move the correct direction? That last turn, we were super concerned.
I'd say it was luck, kind of, but we didn't want her to move to Lockwood, so yeah. It's kind of luck, but also kind of the only interesting spot she could have moved to, I guess. So
Yeah, there's a sort of unofficial rule of don't move turn 20, and they broke it, but it almost came to a crash for them too. That would have pushed it into overtime.
Excellent job that game. I mean, you guys, a very close matchup all the way through. So with this series, with Pup being highlighted, how does this change your guys' opinion of Pup and how you might play against him in the future?
We always thought Pup is good at killing supports. Like the Leech is really strong against that, especially Quark. That's why we picked him against Quark.
Yeah.
Grabbing him and pulling him away from whoever is healing at the moment. And yeah, we didn't expect him to be that good on Cloudspire against Aurora, but he was good.
There's a lot at the beginning of that match of the teams sort of, it seems, racing to kill each other's supports, as those are the ones that were caught out.
Yeah.
Now, as mentioned another time, you guys consistently, both supports, managed to find a way to live without using the catalyst till the middle of the game. Is that something you want to preserve at all costs? Or
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The catalyst is the only, easy way to not die as a support. So you, except if you play Quark, but that's another story. And that's really important to keep it. It's even important on supports because you can, on some of the fire powers, you can, if you dash out and die the next turn, it's not worth it. Might as well do damage. But on the supports, most of the time you can dash out and then heal back up.
Yeah.
So it's really important to avoid using it until the last moment, I think.
So early on, you guys had hinted at having some strategies to deal with cookie cutters. Now that the matchup's over, can you reveal exactly what those were or some of the things that you did specifically after studying the cookie cutters matchup?
Actually, we wanted to focus Remni a lot because we noticed he is kind of healing himself a lot when he's under pressure, and we wanted him to not heal his team too much. But I think it didn't work as well because of the Pup self-healing.
Yeah.
Also, we wanted to use L as a counter to what's his name, Orion, because Orion's only healing one target at a time and is kind of bad against AoE damage.
I actually mentioned that when you picked up L. So glad to
Yeah,
know I wasn't
worked
just
out.
talking out my ass.
It worked out great the turn where Orion fate transferred Pup, and L managed to hit both. That was a big highlight of the game. Unfortunately, Pup did survive on 2 health, but you guys had an easy cleanup on Pup from there. So what do you think about Orion after that matchup? Died a lot, but managed to put out significant numbers and performed okay. Does this raise your opinion of him, lower your opinion of him? Where's Orion stand in your mind right now?
In my mind, he's a kind of a cheese strat enabler. I mean, he replaces a frontliner basically. So he works for me. He works when you play him in a dual support comp. We tried it against one of I think it was Play for Fun, the Finn plus Orion thingy. As Finn has high damage and Orion works kind of like a frontliner. And then you remove the frontliner from the comp completely. But I think he needs a bit of a buff still to be really viable, like on the damaging bubble thingy.
Yeah, that does not
I
do
don't
much
remember the
damage.
name of that thing, but that thing doesn't do
Me neither.
enough to be worth it. Yeah.
All right, so looking in, you guys are going to be playing the championship tournament. If I'm not, restart hung up on me.
I'm here.
You hung up on me webcam wise.
It's still transmitting from my end.
Well,
So.
Oh, it's back. That was weird. Anyway,
Still you both.
looking at the championship tournament, is there any teams you got? I mean, I'm sure there are some teams you got super nervous going in, but with the break, are you guys going to take that time to cool off or take that time to double down on practice and learning the other teams?
I think the team's gonna cool off, and I'm gonna double down because I'm kind of researching people's
Isn't
strat,
that
watching
the way it
videos
always
and shit,
goes?
and, yeah. But yeah.
Well, best of luck to that. There'll be a lot of videos. If you guys and if anybody wants to watch the videos, there will be a lot of matches available from these past few weeks, and indeed from all of Season 1 and Season 2 on youtube.com/prepphase, as well as on the Twitch replay.
Yeah, and this is great because I'm using it a lot.
All right, well, that's good to hear. Any
Nice job with that. Again, I said it earlier on, but nice job with that.
Any final words before we let you go and start doubling down on working before the championship tournament?
No, I'm going to go to bed now. It's late here, but just wanted to say thank you to Jen for the amazing Aurora avatar he gave to me like last time. Sorry, Talonite's kind of she for me, so if I'm doing that wrong, sorry for him. But still, thank you a lot.
All right. Well, have a good sleep.
Yeah,
that's the thing people say, but have a good sleep.
Thank.
Oh, cut him off. Whoops.
Anyway, he was thanking us for that.